Hey guys, let's see what else we got going on here today. What other storylines we got bleeding through? Let's see the storylines that are affecting the collective the most. What is the most focus on? On side B. What's going on with this? Like, I keep getting this big. I mean, we've got a lot of home there, a lot of purgatory, a lot of people feeling very, very stuck this winter. I mean, especially if you're in the northern hemisphere. Like, if you're in the southern hemisphere, really, you should be making some seeds of intention. You should be planting things to harvest at this point. But for the people that are coming into, I feel like seasonal depression. We got Pisces again here. Very watery emotions going on here. We got Uranus. We've got 12. We'll look up what 12 is real quick. There's just a lot of people feeling very, very stuck right now. And a lot of people are very stuck, and I've said this before. It's like, you'll ask the universe for stuff. Autocorrect is not my friend. Thank you. Twelve is spiritual enlightening and spiritual awakening. Alright, so that's kind of what I wanted to touch on. It's like, I deal with people who have been through very, very dramatic situations. And now there's one thing if you've been through a dramatic situation in your life. You grew up with poor role models. You grew up with, people who led you down. Like, I've met young people whose parents have been predicament so that they can have a thug when they get older, Or start a family farm and a young person who's done it with you, they have that private hospital, if you will, right, in these situations. I don't know. I didn't know that I was doing it until I learned about, like, the universal laws and things of that nature, but my reality will only allow things to go to a certain point. When they say that God won't give you anything that you can't handle, no, your own mind, it'll break if it does, right? It's when they say the universe won't give you anything that you can't handle, it's like it kind of is true, right? Like, for all the drama and for all the weird things that happen in my life and everything else like that, the horror stories that I've heard, right? None of my exes have ever been involved in a murder, right? None of them have exes that have been found dead in ditches. None of my friends' kids have been to jail. Like, it's like, it's a certain level of, and I know I talked some smack about growing up on Long Island, and I did grow up on Long Island, but I also grew up in Virginia Beach, which is a very different demographic area, and it has potentiality for being just as violent, right? And drugs and things of that nature. But it was a matter of vibrating with low vibrational people, or recognizing when you're vibrating with low vibrational people, or getting away from toxic people, and just I'm not going to accept but X amount of drama in my life. I will do everything in my possible to draw this hard boundary line that I only will allow this amount of drama in my life, and if you come at me bringing the essence that you could bring that higher level of drama into my life, regardless of what I've got going on, no, my life has gotten bad, and I've gone through some tough shit, but I've never gone through no shit like that, because I don't allow that level of drama to come into my life. It just, I don't know, it's such a firm, grounded belief, and it's just a level of, like I said before, how I conduct myself, how I carry myself, how I act. I mean, I may look like I'm a stuck-up bitch with a resting bitch face, but I get respect where I go. I don't have to be mean, I don't have to be nasty. If anybody knows me personally, I'm a very kind, loving, giving person. I'll give, if you need something and I've got it, I give it. not attached to stuff at all when it comes to that kind of thing, right? If I've got it to give and you need it, I give it. That's just how I roll. I figure the universe put me in your path to do this for you, so I will do this for you. And that's how I operate, and that's how I live. But when I get to somebody that I'm giving to, or somebody that I'm with, like especially my most recent ex, yeah, it was the level of drama that person was inviting into my life that caused my spiritual upheaval to reject that timeline and do everything in its power to reject that timeline. And when I stepped into another situation that was similar to that, where it was like that timeline was completely manifested and run by just toxic, nasty people playing manipulative games, and that's all that timeline was. Something popped up here. And that's all that timeline was. That's all that timeline projected. That's all that timeline, yeah, it was just a level of drama that's like, nah, man, nah. If you had healthy standards and healthy boundaries and healthy fucking things and taught your kids healthy freaking lessons and taught people how to act right, then you would never hit certain problems. You just wouldn't. Like, I'm not saying that everything's in your control. Like, your kids are going to have, people are going to get their hands on them. They're going to be influenced by friends at school and work and stuff like that. But they can, if they don't have a solid, reasonable parent to fall back on, that exasperates that situation, right? They need somebody stable that sets good examples. You should, when you look back in your life, look for people who are stable, that set stable examples for you to follow. What kind of life is it you want, right? Okay, so grandma's life wasn't perfect, you know what I'm saying? She was a homemaker and all quaaludes and da-da-da-da, but she had a nice house, nice big house and all these other things, and she held certain standards for her life and how things were supposed to be. And there's been some, and for her doing all that, grandpa worked 3 jobs, you know what I'm saying, he paid for vacations, but he never had to change a diaper, you know what I'm saying? There was dynamics and balances and checks and balances there, but there was this baseline of manners. And if you look back into history, like even the news, like you watch things on the newsies and the newsboys, and everybody wore dress pants and a shirt and a nice vest and a blazer and a fedora, and they looked nice, and you did that, and you did your best to maintain that no matter what social standards you actually had. The only people who dressed like whores were whores, right? The only people who, dressed poor were people who genuinely were poor, like poor to the point where they were destitute, and then those people lived in homes, and they wore like those white Victorian looking sleeper gowns all the time, right? They had no clothes. There was a difference, there was a standard there, right? Even poor people kept their houses to a certain standard. Makes sense? Even as gross as the cities themselves were. We really want to get into human history. We were disgusting, filthy, nasty freaking creatures. It's probably why I have OCD to this day. But, alright, so back onto this timeline. We have someone who's reaching a stage of enlightenment here. I think it's something that they've realized, right? We got Uranus. Uranus is all about expansion and enlightenment too, right? And then we've got the Pisces, the 2 fish with their tails tied together. We've got a male here who seems to be, I get this swirling, right? There's flight, there's rings of communication going on, waves being made, a lot of divine synchronicities and guidance going on here. A post I made the other day that talked about that too. It's like, like when it comes to parenting standards, what the whole goal is to keep your daughters off the phone and your sons out of jail, right? I get a lot of flack right now because I live in the area with my kids, but they're not in the same house with me. I'm staying with my nephew and them and helping them at the moment. And my sister had extra rooms because her kids are graduating, growing up, moving out, things of that nature, so my kids are staying over there. And people look at me and judge me and talk about, you lost your kids. No, I didn't lose my kids. I'm a single parent, and I made the best decision that I possibly could for my children. I was not going to begrudge them a good life. To what? To drag around in shitty subpar apartments and run-down trailers with me? No. Like my sister and them, they had the place, they had the, and true, genuine love is sacrifice, right? What? I sacrificed my own personal maternal needs to be in the same building as my children all the time, to sleep in the same house as my children every night, for their safety first. Their education first, their well-being first, their stability first. Damn my stability, damn my happiness, damn what's going to happen to me. I put what was best for them first, and I put them in a situation where I knew that they would thrive the best, right? And take lack for nothing, and I get to enjoy being close enough to see them happy, right? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. People do what they gotta do. I spent a lot of years where Christmas was sponsored by the United Way and local churches at my house. Something always came through. There was always something like that saved the holidays and things of that nature. But in the end, it's something that I kind of always resented about my own childhood and the struggles and the survival mode that I got put into, right? I grew up in survival mode. I got my first job at 14. By 16, I was working 3 jobs. By 17, I was paying half the bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, by 20, I was moving out with my first boyfriend. By 20, what was I? It was more like 25 when I had my daughter. I always get it mixed up and say 23 for some reason, but I was actually older. Anyway, back into y'all's timeline here. We got a lot of 9 of Pentacles here. Got a 9 of Pentacles here. There's definitely some past burning energy here, or leaving the past behind to burn, to move forward here. This Queen of Cups is the one that's making these moves here. She's finding balance, right? She's gaining control over her passion and her emotions. And usually I'll get to manifesting mode for this card, but I get more this is somebody's watching, right? There's definitely a Jack of Pentacles out on the outer edge of this, right? Because there's all one feminine doing all this work right now on the 3D. That's what everybody's paying attention to anyway. This is the most interesting person in the world, right? And this is one of the people that are watching you, right? I get this person carries a lot of guilt. I always call this the Catholic guilt representation with that card there. Those 3 spiders with them. Someone is a little entrapped on their own. That's why they're watching. On the 4D, on the 4D, I get somebody, they were over it. You got defeat here. They were over it. They're over it. What? They were over it. What? This person's laying here in these 3 of Swords. Woe is me. I'm stuck in these third-party situations. All these people. Oh, they ruined my life. They ruined my life. I'm just going to lay on the ground and wallow and cry and just lay here. And this bitch is like, I'm going to take my 2 of Swords decision to move away from this, because it's not the vibration anybody wants to be in. Nobody wants to be in the vibration where everything is being controlled by fucking spiders, right? That's the spiders there. right? I feel like this person understands that. The feminine here understands that spider energy, right? They're like, yeah, we know what those spiders are. We've been around that enough. I couldn't even get that the feminines could be other spiders or feminines that are trying to control the situation. Feminines have always been famous for that. They're always behind the scenes manipulators, right? Whereas men make big bold moves with money and business and finance and ladies would always been kind of catty and in the background type of games, right? There's been a judgment made. What? I'm going to focus on giving praise to those who deserve praise, and start taking praise away from those who don't deserve it. Like, it's not that they don't you could yell at them, but why? Might as well focus on who deserves it, right? Focus on blessing your friends instead of hexing your enemies, and watch how fast your vibration in your life starts to change. Watch how much strength you get, right? Coming out of the cold, getting into that emperor mode. The 5D is definitely focusing on a feminine here, right? The Queen of Staves and the Queen of Cups here, fire and water going on here, right? Someone can have heavy placements in these areas, right? There's a what? There's a what? Like what? Intuition, foresight, preparation. There's nothing that they see that they can do to alleviate any of this situation, right? Because you can't fix people who don't want to be fixed, and you can't save people who don't want to be saved, right? That's the first thing that they teach you when you do lifeguarding or anything else like that, right? It's you try to save a drowning person, the first thing that you're supposed to do is kick them away from you until they calm down. And then if they calm down, you can help them climb out. But until they calm down and realize that they're panicking, they're struggling, they're wiggling. I feel like the quicksand, the more you struggle, the more it sucks you down. Like, until they change their perspective that it's what they are doing that is ruining their lives, then you can't guide them, right? This is a Queen of Staves who comes into this, right? I still feel like she still feels like she feels a little entrapped by it all, right? Like a kind of fourth enslaved to situations, right? There's 3 spilled cups here, but in this 5 of cups, she's not focused on the 3 spilled cups, or he, whatever, is not focused on the 3 spilled cups. They're focused on the 2 cups that they have upon the altar. Right? So this person still has these 2 cups on the altar. Why? Because they were genuinely the Queen of Cups. And there was guidance behind where they were supposed to be handing their cup out to. Here we go. What? We got the 7 of Swords, right? 7 of Swords here. What? He's carrying them 4 swords, right? 4 swords is that sword of truth. This is a guy. I just go by the genders on the cards. You guys put them where they're supposed to be. This is someone who has picked up these 4 swords, got the sword of truth, swallowed it, is carrying it, and is ready to take care of these 3 swords, right? Ready to get out of these lies and manipulations, right? This is a Page of Staves, right? Someone who's learning how to control their passions, learning how to control their energies. There's a lot of victory on this road for this person if they can maintain this, right? You got 2 pages. Could be children involved here too. That could be what's so damning, what's so linking, what's so binding and untying is this whole kids thing. I don't know. I really get this really gnarly, nasty thing that I used to hear guys say all the time. They're like, they're like back in the day, they're always up to, it was always about knocking chicks up, because once a chick has your baby, you could always get back in there type of energy. And I get like there's kids all stuck up in this gnarly type of energy that's going on. That's why they're just like, a lot of people are like shit said, she's like, I don't see how to fix any of this. This person's trying to figure it out. They're getting in control of these pages here. Oh, you're lucky they all came out. Alright, this person is having to defend themselves. They're having to take the moral high ground. They're having to defend themselves about what changes that they want to make in their lives, right? Get the kind of crabs in the bucket type of thing, right? This is about building up defenses, building healthy boundaries, drawing lines in the sand, right? This is activating a devil energy for sure. Someone who's going to pull the chains even tighter on these connections, right? Someone who's going to try to use this Ace of Staves. I love how this is a female hand on the Ace of Staves. So nobody knows that the Ace of Staves is the big D card. So this is a feminine with sharp pointing nails, has her hand around somebody's staff. That could be that Page of Staffs energy too, very immature with their staff. This is someone who has a feminine hand wrapped around it, right? That's the devil squeezing it. It's so terrible. It's so terrible, the imagery there. I get that this person understands this, right? There's the image of the Ten of Cups here, but it's immediately followed by the reversed Empress, right? So this is the happy home life card, but I feel like this is a very toxic feminine here that is in control of all this, right? Could be in control of the kids. They're the ones that's in control of their staff, squeezing this person. They couldn't necessarily be their staff, but like squeezing the passion out of this person, using the kids' happiness against them. That's what I'm getting. What? Using the kids' happiness against them. This person's stuck in a hermit mode. All right. But what is anybody supposed to do about this? I'm trying to put the cards back right. Come on. Alright. What is this person supposed to do about this? One. What is the Queen supposed to do about this? And what is this Fool, King, masculine energy supposed to do about this? Oh my god. Alright. So, what is the Queen supposed to do about this? What? The Queen is still focused on this Page of Staves, right? Is focusing on manifesting through their passions and things like that. Like I said, I still get that children image, right? Nine of Coins. Putting their passions towards manifesting money, right? Defending themselves and their healthy boundaries, right? This person has taken a major Six of Swords, rite of passage, right? Page of Coins, right? Taken, like I said, we even got more the double kids in there again. But this person has taken a major leap to make changes for more coin, right? I like how this image is so weird, right? And so this person almost was like, I don't even feel like this Fool took this leap. I think they kind of fell into this leap, right? Right? They fell backwards. The dog stayed up on the cliff type of energy going on. The staff there. The cup being spilt. I feel like it was almost divine intervention on this person that has made them take this Fool's leap, right? Alright, so what's going on with the Fool from before, from the masculine energy here, that Hermit energy? We got the King of Cups here. He's sitting pretty smug, right? And he's looking away from this devil energy, right? So I get this King of Cups, and he's kind of looking away from this devil energy. I feel like there's a lot to be done. It's going to come down to like judgments, courts, judgments. I mean, this could be real court. This could be spiritual court. This is being judged all the way up on a spiritual level here. They've gone behind. They're going in front of. I don't want to say Most High. It sounds so cheesy when people say that, but I'm trying to find other words for the universe, right? Court is being held on the 5D down to the 3D, and judgments are getting ready to be placed. I like how he's sitting kind of calm to the side. You even got that Pisces fish jumping off the side there. Can you see it? And you got the devil sitting there, their wands. You got the 6 of staves. There's a victory. There's a victory coming. And then that's when this person can focus on this 2 of cups energy. And what do they want? Do I need to say more about this card? Right? Alright, what advice do we got for both of them? One more small spread. Just getting... No, around the bottom. I'm just getting a lot of, there's just something that's stuck in the 3D. Something that's stuck in red tape, paperwork, waiting for things to go through. Wars, could be child support settlements, could be, custody, states traveling, moving, things like that. There's a lot going on here. I'm not going to do reversals for this one because this is going to be the final message from the 5D that I'm pulling through here. I didn't record any of that. No, I am recording. I was about to say I didn't see my little timer there. What am I on? 27 minutes? Yeah, this is the last message from the 5D for this storyline, for this reading. Alright. There needs to be a focus on where there's been genuine equal give and take and where someone may have been unfair, right? But there's focus on what's equal for equal give and take, right? There's a King of Staves getting in control of one staff, right? You got this 10 of Swords playing the victim. They're playing the victim to gain victory, right? This is someone who's being stabbed in the back a lot, but they plan on gaining victory over this, right? Look, all those 10 of Swords are like burdens stabbed in their back, but in the end, right, they're carrying 9, they got their one staff up, and they're victorious in this energy, right? There is a major tower getting ready to happen. Someone who is getting, stabilizing their finance. There's a lot of victory happening right now, right? 9 of coins, lots of money or potentiality for money to come in, right? Definitely starting to where your focus goes, your energy goes, manifesting, and there's definitely some messages here. The red bird, right? Knight of Cups knows where he wants to deliver his cups to, and the Knight of Staves, his passion is going to drive it there. Alrighty. The past life energies here real quick. The past life energy bleeding through. Imprisonment and slavery. Someone has been enslaved or imprisoned before. Believe it or not, that is really, really quite common, considering that the majority of the population has gone through that in some place in time. Those systems were run on oligarchy where most people were free and the rest of them worked for the wealthy, right? We've got someone, artificial heart, someone who's faking it, someone who feels like they're in prison still, and they're faking it going through the motions right now. Artificial heart. They're feigning everything. But there's a dawn and new beginnings getting ready to come. Guide. Keep following your guides. They'll lead you where you need to be. And don't worry about so much about your purpose. Your purpose is just to be who you are, where you are, whenever you are. Does that make any sense to anybody? Alright, y'all. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and winding paths with me. I love y'all, and I'm going to be back as soon as I can, I promise.